Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. So I took the opportunity to turn the professor's chair around. Because, of course, he needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson when he picked up the gun. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Your Excellency?
Yes?
I wonder, might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san.
Now. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be. Takatsuchi Aoki does not lose. Not like this rookie student. You'd better start getting used to tough opposition. Rinosuke Naruhodo. What, yes? This insult to the Aoki family name will never be forgotten. You become conceited with age, Counsel. But the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. A 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Aochi clan will never measure up to Naruhodo clan.
This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Rinosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits, but what it will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi.
Yes.
After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can. Absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you.
I understand, Your Excellency. What was that about? Why do you look so grave, Olsen? Never mind.
As for you, Rinosuke Naruhodo?
Oh, yes?
In you, I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Rinosuke Naruhodo, not guilty.
Thank God I can stop putting on that voice for him.
This court is now adjourned.
22nd November, 2:46 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendants, Antechamber 5. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial. Renosuke. You finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Governor. No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on University Street, don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off. Oh. Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruto-san's innocence. Our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know. Oh, no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much. If we hadn't had that research for poor Miss Bretz, I don't know how things would have turned out. Your kind words should really be for my father. I simply do as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to university and investigate. Your father? Ah, yes, of course. Speaking of Mikotoba. Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations in order. Now, Hodo, you did an excellent job. Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all, your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yumei University, wasn't it? I gotta say, I was thinking of getting Charles from Zero at the end of the month, but after recent developments, I'm not so sure now. Because it turns out they quarter-assed it. I thought they half-assed it when they forgot Doug, but it turns out the reason... Well, it turns out that the PlayStation version is also just the basic Kai version, without any quality of life improvements. Which has pushed me away, because that's basically laziness. Anyway, back to it. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson? Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together? I never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world in science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking on South Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. A Japanese man's katana is his soul, and this blade shows me where I need to go. It cuts down anything that's in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. That reminds me, what's happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. Ah, yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Today she's gonna face trial herself now. She's a true culprit after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country, I'm certain. What? But why not? Samato Consular Jurisdiction. Inspector Hosonaga. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. Most congratulate. But what's all this about consular jurisdiction? We cannot try this particular foreigner for our crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? But then who? You just can't figure out the justice. The British consular court. Our voices can't be heard. But why a consular court? Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past, now that we've signed the friendship treaty. I can't read. I can, otherwise we'll have an entire bookshelf full of books. Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right. And so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, can they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan? I'm afraid that for the young student. Today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. It's obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. That line makes me laugh now. But it's all gonna change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil. This new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day I have no doubt that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But Professor! You're right, this is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating the Inosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hasanagi-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about details for now. La Carnival, will you accompany us, Professor? Of course, La Carnival's food is second to none. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma. Yes, Inosuke? I just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. You really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. Your skills made a difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. Martin, come on, be serious! If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it, for being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. All that intense verbal combat. I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do, that's all, because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean that's the point? Listen, Inosuke, do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No, the ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in even then... well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in Klein. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student in life, a precious little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me. Well, you faced seemingly hopeless situations time and again. But you never stopped looking for truth. In the end, you found it. Through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Hopefully by the next time I've actually got a proper voice for the judge, instead of constantly changing every 5 seconds. Thanks, Kazuma. Okay. Inosuke. So your name is... wait. So... my name is not Ashley. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. It sounds serious, what is... ah, you're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. Arrange some next shorts for us. Let's go. Thank you, we'll be back now. Let's pick up this conversation again later. You should be celebrating right now, your first court victory. And your story taught the Great Britain, don't forget. Ah yes, that too. So my very first trial came to an end. Mikotoba. Susato-san, who acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. It was because of their help and the support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. That reminds me of the bit in Justice Fall when Nick still forgets who Pain is. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. Feels good actually being able to the adventure of the Unbreakable Spectral Band.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled.
Wait, wouldn't it work if they called him S. Holmes instead of Sholmes?
I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The Speckled Band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible Speckled Band I had ever seen.
9th January, 6:47 PM. And the spaceship Borea.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Ink from this upset bottle. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait!
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Holmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait. I can't move. What the? Why am I in handcuffs? So, you wake up now, We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then. We found you. And now you pay, criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that? Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Mr. Sato? Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Cosmo? You pretend you do not know. You are a wolf in the sheep's belt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Yeah, in this very cabin. And that was body shot from the inside. His body? Please. Do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. No. No! Kazuma, it was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? When we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It's really something else when they threw your luggage in here earlier. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your travelling case onto the floor, I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey! Honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. Oh, I hope not. I get the feeling these Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotori, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my travelling case, it'd be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why didn't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. I've only been out to sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We're supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. We leave you at the next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. No, I'm no murderer. Ah, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san? Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Okay, well... But there is something I would like to ask of you, too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. Suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked on the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. We don't know how he died. The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted our next port of call. So presumably that means there are no obvious external signs of injury. That's true, yes. Can anyone tell me what actually happened there in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please, whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. This morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. And I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor. Yeah, but I don't think he understood enough Russian to actually write it. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me too, trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. Oh, my head feels so heavy, it's so throbbing like anything. Are you even on board this ship now, Huddle-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh yes, I'm afraid that's true. 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without noticing? No. That would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? That's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the centre of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no. Definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. Kazuma-sama, he was always saying the same thing. They wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I'd ever seen it before. Susato-san, I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you, like staying away on the ship with me. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. We're perfect, in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What then? Well, the thing is, I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... please, forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me, I didn't do it. I really don't want to tell you, but the trouble is... there's no one else who could have possibly done this. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. Can't allow it. I'm sorry. Cosmo was killed right in my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. Now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. Who took Cosmo's life, and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. What the? A suicide of what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in the court of law. Ah, I see. You expected me to present some conclusive evidence. You have to get Susato-san to believe me.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Cosmo always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there, just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of my... Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible I killed Cosmo. Well, even if yours sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Cosmo-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? Well, in light of the evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating here, at least. Thank you, so you finally believe me. I'm sorry, no. What? Not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick. I'm not a fae! What do you think I am, a magician? Examine. Did Cosmo write that before he died? It looks like it's written ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the... What Cosmo? Can he even write in Japanese? Not Japanese, I mean Russian. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read you right. I don't think that's Japanese now, Hodo-san. What? Then what language is it? Pains me to admit it. But I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Oh dear, that will do. Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Ah yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you now, Hodo-san? Okay, as long as you don't give me any more fucking concussions. This is where dear Cosmo-sama would have sat whenever he was there. London Diary. Poor Cosmo, he didn't make it to his destination. This is the last entry is incomplete. Which means... What? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. Could be a valuable clue. What did I just say? Let's answer the question. What? Cosmo-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. But what if it's something important, something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. I don't like finding out people's personality either. In this case, isn't the need for clues more important? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yeah, so they basically have to live in the wardrobe, and last night was no exception. Well, because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin? No, sadly not. The books are fallen over on the shelf, look. They've all toppled the same way. What's this? Is that just some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mown down at once. I wonder if perhaps it was Cosmo-sama doing his morning sword. I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps... Oh, do you know how this on in a fit? I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these things have been run about have something to do with the case, I wonder? What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to be broken clean in two. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? And the mug beside it. What is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yeah, you're right. It is the colour of brick, isn't it? I don't see anything of the same colour anywhere else in the cabin. That's my dinner from last night. It was chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you hear on the floor here? I'm no dog, Susato-san. I hear the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the play ended up on the floor. I personally have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Ah yes, Karuma. That's Cosmo-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is a soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. Now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of this unit of crime. Excuse me? What? I was wondering how it's going, the investigation. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it's not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asked an investigator for information about this crime? Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. I've used the information now. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
Niet, of course not. Now back to corner of room and make silent. I say no more to you.
Did I hear nerve? Just for a moment now, you seemed a little flustered. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? Well, that was actually how I started wearing this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah yes, I see it says this way up in Japanese. Which in hindsight, I should have realised the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as... Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. These are rows of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria. Passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? What are you saying at me? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object? I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. There's nothing on this table at all. The plain cutlery all over the floor for some reason. Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute. That's funny, I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened. No! 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 God, I'd be fucked if I was in that case then. Say, the Japanese word for justice. Or is it Saigi? I don't know. The first strokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet you, can you really look at those characters without feeling ashamed, knowing who drew them so? Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why should I be able to? Even though you stole away on me. Now you're gonna bring that up, are you? I can't win. This is, yes, a spell called contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, in which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes, in the interest of cultural research, obviously. I suppose nobody comes for lonely Japanese people. No, I'm just that everyone's busy, that's all. What, with the murder going on? No, they can't be busy. Okay, well, haven't I examined then? I went for help and the crewman forced the door open. This bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy. Just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, that door's bolted. There would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder one suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel before. The couple uses a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. The door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they sew together perfect. There'll be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Well, she's there to examine them. You drew the characters for this paper sale, didn't you? Now hold us not. Such bold and vivid strokes you made. You're looking at a man who came aboard inside a trunk. Those brush strokes needed to make a statement. They found me in that wardrobe, those Russians would have hurled me into the freezing cold ocean. I'm sure none of the crewmen would have done anything like that. Well, I'm not so sure. They'd have forced you to wash dishes in the galley until you're on death's door or something like that. Wash dishes until I was on death's door? That's a lot of dishes. You can say that again. And no, I am not criminal. Don't be so judgmental. I examine. Seems flustered. Hey Susato, you got Magatama? No? Handcuffs in the house arrest by the crew. Not to mention Susato-san's constant glares. I think it's fair to say that I'm stuck in this cabin for the time being at least. I should focus on investigating here to see what I can find out. Oh, there's the ventilation. Maybe that's it. Ah. Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he... You've noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he's gotten here, but he looks suspicious and tall, suspiciously tall. It doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. He's investigating Cosmo's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, if Professor X on people known the crosshairs, you can converse with. Yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh. This is a critical point to my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps I'll be for the best. Greetings, I hope I haven't kept you long. Ah. What exactly were you doing on Cosmo's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry, what do you see? Feels like you're looking right through me. Oh, yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Have just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing toward foreign crimes, you find yourself in the most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. But how? How did you still know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being, as you are, merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And, when the beribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now, nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims, excuse me. I've only seen one person who fits the bill. So it's true. It was you who did this. What?! No! There's no way out. This is ridiculous. For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came in your head. Ah, but was I not right? Whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in the most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha, there you have it, you see. What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of murder. So I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a drastic certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. So it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes? The very same. The inimitable actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world? No, Hodo-san. Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What time have I been living on then? Must ask him where he's deduced. We'll have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? So you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Sherlock, was it? No, I have no her. I mean, I have hair. Please call me Sherms. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. And here you have the reason why I'm not a fan of detective novels. Too many people simp over them. So you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective? Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in a magazine. Because it's not like I can't read anything. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't have one. Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to our publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. Science? Really? This astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of the muscle. A slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furs in the skin, all these things are data. Right. And a trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can you look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have returned both for observation and for deduction and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow. Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Sherlock Holmes was on board. And handcuffs. Ah. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really? Two facts, you say? Before we started talking, you were examining Cosmo's desk, weren't you? Cosmo? Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe, for a moment, the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Cosmo was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private minds. It could upset people. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps allude to today, before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what Susato takedown is. Susato-san? And you're gonna vote the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry now, Hado-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely, this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, Mikado, Nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. Mikado's Japanese, but I don't think any of the others. But none of the others are. Sayonara is Spanish. Bonsai is a type of Chinese plant. Mikado is Japanese for magic, I think. I might be wrong though, I only know the name from Super Danganronpa another 2. I trust you're suitably impressed. But this diary is littered with complicated looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. So what was all that showing off about before then? I'm much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 AM. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 AM. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard of that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice down the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Cabin? I mean cabin. Kazuma's diary has been entered into the court record. 2 facts. Mr. Sholmes, tell us please, what 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah, yes, but first, let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, already. Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes, what made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left the dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered Garden Rob might be the name of the killer, certain Robert Gard, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly? Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Really? And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim in the message. That I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Cosmo had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Miss Noel? Oh, yes, thank you. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was the first revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that? Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian. Can we talk about your deduction before and the things you conclude about me, I mean? He dropped up here. Captain. 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 Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part? Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have in this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary Willem Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. It was concluded he was Russian because of what Cosmo saw around the floor. Yeah, Sholmes, think you might need to go to Specsavers. I look nothing like that. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who had killed the very man we helped him to escape after his true identity. How could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary, after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Ah, please. And, I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blown up the Crystal Tower. Ah, yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all these particulars in the article. The deeds man has perpetrated thus far, and there is his proof. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters? I wonder. And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in the war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself. As a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back, cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. Couldn't hope to read it. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant now about this one? Well, no. I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. Look at this picture. Perhaps it's about the beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy her. I don't know. Can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you've noticed this article. Ah! Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. It pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of Novik Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why was her name so hard to remember? It would appear the woman was in costume and she was found to be missing from her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure. It must be an unbelievable sum of money. Chisato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novik Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They requested international assistance at all ports for sailing to Great Britain. Can this be another case of Russian cleaning his or her permission? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm going to dig and find out a response, Miss Minerva. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being at least. And do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I'm still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So, yes, I intend to investigate, hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we can go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, knees. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Ha 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 ha. Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. And you... as if you gave me any choice in rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's go on examining what we can and carry while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me. There are still things I can do to help myself. I went to Cosmo to do everything I can to find a way out of this and bring the real culprit to justice. Is that... something wrong? No, I heard her song? Oh, no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes, what can I do for you? I recognize that face, but it can't be. It is. I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew on board the ship. Again. You certainly seem to be enjoying the co-work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. But for what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain. Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even have been a possibility? I'm not sure, but these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Mr. Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. I see. I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night every day. But I never imagined it would happen here inside his own cabin, not here on the first class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say a word. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer. Of course not! We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed to risk the ship's safety if you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door. That stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. I think on murder as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? God, I'm just winning my own words again. I had a solid reason why next door cabin should be investigated, for example. I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how. There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruto yourself, by presenting you a piece of evidence I surely had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply slick. Yeah. Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Holy! Strange in what way? He wrote what looks like some